do a couple of sentences. Okay. Our cries of fear and pain, our cries of joy, of happiness.
Amaziga gaife mukutya ne mu bulumi, amaziga gaife mu isanu n'okudaganya.
These were our first poems. Before words, before sentences, before grammar, before language.
Bino n'ebyali ebitontome ebyasooka. Nga gazira bigambo biyunge, gazira mateeka gafuga kwogera, nga gazira lulimi.
We imitated birds and other animals and found that with our sounds we could share our experience and tell a story with each other.
Twagegemya ensolo n'ennyonyi bwe doogera era twakizuula nti tukozesa amaloboozi ago tusobola okuwanisaganya engero dhaife.
Our first songs or poems creating community through a common sense of who we were.
Ago era n'agaali n'ebyali ebitontome byaife ebyasooka olwo ne twatandika okutondawo ebyalo era n'okwetegeera ife n'ife baani.
We put our sounds together, we repeated them to each other, we created memory through sounds.
Amaloboozi gaife ago twagagayita twagayiraganamu era twatandika okugaidukira era mu kugaidukira twetondawo.
We changed the pitch in our voices, we changed the rhythm in our delivery, and we had song, and we had story, and each of us was a poet, a storyteller.
Mukukyusakyusa amaloboozi gaife ne mugeri ye twagategekamu mwava olwemba, mwava engero, mwava ebitontome, olwo ne twafuuka abakobi b'engero.
Our poems were of the earth and the water, of the rocks, the trees, the other animals, the grasses, and at night, with full moon's light, we shared our stories, the old talking to the young.
Ebitontome byaife byali ku itaka, byaba ku maadhi, byaba ku ndazi, emiti n'ebisolo n'ensiko, era ebitontome byaife obwire byaba ku nankani ku mwezi, era byafuuka engero abakulu bakobera abato.
And when we died, the poems remained, the stories remained, our words, our language, they reminded us of who we were, where we were going, and where we had been.
Bwe twafa ebitontome byaife byasigala, engero dhaife dhasigala, ebigambo byaife byasigala, olulimi lwaife lwasigala, olwo ne byatwidukiza nife baani tuvaaga tujaaga.
Our poems and songs became our culture. We gave birth to these poems and songs, and in return, the songs and poems gave life to us in families, in communities, and kingdoms.
Ebitontome byaife bino byafuuka obuwangwa bwaife. Era mpegano ebitontome bino byavaamu eiwanga era twafuuka ebyalo omwavwa obwakabaka.
And with our stories we existed. Without our stories, without our words, we were not alive.
Mu ngero dhaife twabaawo. Olwoni agazira ngero, agazira bigambo, twaba tusobola kubaawo.
The world was therefore sounded, cried, and spoken into being. Our lives were sung into existence, and over the thousands of years as we drifted and filled the earth with people, our languages gave us our identity, who we were, and importantly, who we were not.
Olwoni ensi twabanga twajogera, ensi twabanga twagitontoma, obulamu bwaife bwaidira mu bitontome, era emyaka obwasa n'obwasa obw'emyaka bwe twatambula twaja n'ebigambo ebyo, twaja n'ennimi ezo edaatufuula ne baani betuli ate ne baani betutali.
We were the people of the large mountain. We were the people of the standing stone. We were the people of the large salmon river. We were the people of the broad savanna. We were the people of the Nile Valley. We shared stories of 20,000 years and more.
Abamu ku ife twali abantu ab'ensozi, twaba abantu ab'amabaale, twaba abantu ab'omwiga omuli ebyenanda, twaba abantu ab'omwirungu, twaba abantu ab'omwiga kiira. Olwone emyaka 200 miramba twaba nga tuwanisaganya n'ebigambo bino.
And although through time our words and languages have come to be distinct, the first purpose of language has always been to foster community, not to drive us apart. And never to use language to say that some ideas and some people are more important than others. Yes.
Olwone kyaba nti enimi dino mu kuidawo tidaidago okutugabanya wazira okusobola okuwulizaganya era gava nga zira lulimi lwali nga lulina ebigambo oba n'ebiduubo ebisingaku ebiduubo by'abantu abandi.
And not to say that one language alone can be a global language while other languages are good only for small ideas of the village.
Era kyaba nti tigaali lulimi olukoba nti lwolwidde okumaamira ensi yona yona ng'eddiini dibaanimi da byalo bwalo.
So who am I then? Who am I to come to Busoga, to come to Uganda, to come to Africa and share words in the same language of those people who bring death into our world?
Olwoni kyeneebuuza ninzaani okwidda e Busoga, okwidda e Uganda, okwidda mu Africa n'ebigambo ebyo ebiisi nga nkoba nti ninze ze nkaaliwo.
Who am I, someone so far removed from his own tribal origins, to have forgotten whatever language his ancestors once spoke?
Yenze katyoni ninzaani erabira n'olulimi lwa baddaada bange tidimi baali nga boogera.
Who am I to have been the great-grandchild of English settlers who took the land of the Hall First Nations people on Vancouver Island?
Ye banange ninzaani mwidukulu w'Abangereza abajja e Canada ne batwala ettaka ly'aba Hallowed
So
Vancouver.
Yes. So that their English-speaking children might have more food and better houses and better medical care than the Holalt language-speaking people whose land they took.
Era ng'okunaga kuno abahalodi baanagibwa ettaka obwo Abangereza n'abaana baabwe basobole okusula obulungi, basobole okulya obulungi okusinga abo beene ettaka.
What is the meaning of my coming to this land, this Africa, where all human life began?
Makulu kyagali munze okwidda munankani mwensi ono lusi obulamu ge bwatandikira.
I am made humble by the presence of so many gods and ancestors among us today. I am lost at this moment and have no real answers for myself, let alone for any others hearing me today or reading these words.
Era nze banange ebigambo bimbulaku yemba mu nsi eno lusi omuli bakatonda omuli abaddaada bonabona era nze kwegamba mbanga nzira kyakwogera.
I know only one thing, that our words, our languages, our differences, our dreams, and our ferocious anger at injustice and poverty and cruelty must be shared.
Kirala kyonka kyendidde nti ebigambo byaife, enimi daife, n'endawukana daife, n'ebirooto n'okwenda ino obwenkanya kwegamba tulina okola tulina okubigabana.
And I know one more thing, that the feeling of the soil on the soles of our feet or of our hand dipping into our rivers or our seas, or the sounds of birds at sunrise, or the cries of newly born children and other animals, or of the drums and xylophones, or the singing together in celebration that hope exists, or the memories kept alive in our mother tongue.
N'ekindi kyendidi nti kwegamba ebirowoozo byaife n'eitaka eriri ku ngaito dhaife n'engalo dhaife dhe tutamuona nkani mu miiga era n'amanya nti kwegamba amaloboozi ag'enoni ng'enduba evaayo, amaloboozi ag'abaana n'ebisolo ebibanga birira, amaloboozi g'engoma n'embaire n'abo bonabona agabanga gemba muona nkani okusanukira ebiramu mulimi dhaife enzaliranwa.
And they are carried in our words, with our poetry, with our songs, words and songs born of African soil.
Ebigambo ebyo byona bidira muona nkani bigambo byaife bidira mu bitontome mu nnemba ng'ennemba ezo divire mu itaka lyaife erya Lusi ensi ya Africa.
And carried in our hearts to every corner of this planet, still carrying life, still rejecting despair, still making resistance possible, still conveying tenderness, still linking friend to friend, still expressing our love.
Ebigambo ebyo nga tubitoyire mu lusiku nsibuko y'omwiga Kiyira, twatambula nabyo mu bulamu mitima gyaife nga birimu obulamu, nga kwegamba biroba okuwangulwa, nga bijja nga birwana, era nga bijja n'okwenda kwonako n'okw'amaani, nga kwegamba buli muntu abaava e Lusi nga tutambula n'okwenda okw'amaani. I said this, that when Budd visited me in Uganda, soon after I had just gone there, he was the guest of the Clans Council of the Kingdom of Busoga. And the head of Clans of Busoga organized a ceremony and assigned him a clan. He assigned him to my clan because they wanted us to be brothers and to work together on whatever we were doing. And then about 3-4 years ago, we had a ceremony for him to be accepted into our family. It was a very, very big ceremony. And so Budd is of the Kiranda clan and is of the Bushback totem. He has a piece of land, and so when at home, which was given to him by my father, and so when I was coming, I thought, as brothers, I should bring him a shirt, just to emphasize that point that we are brothers and we belong to this, to the totem of the Bushback.
The first time we've ever worn these shirts in public, two of us together. The first time.